on to Married at First Sight, which is what I've been wanting to talk about all night. So where do we start with Married at First? Okay, so Married at First Sight this week, everybody's back from the honeymoon and we're getting into real life. We go to each other's houses, see how each other lives, and then go into like the new apartment that they're sharing. I was super excited the experts came. Pastor Cal just gave me life this episode. I missed him. I hate that like we have to go through like 4 episodes before we see. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy because I feel like he's that.
We can go through it, but I can tell you where I was disappointed in Pastor Cal actually.
Okay. I think that they need Pastor Cal to kind of give reassurance on, am I doing it right or is he doing it right kind of thing. But yeah, I'm interested you didn't rock with Pastor Cal. I was just happy that there's an expert. So who should we start with? Let's start with Vincent and Bree. Because I now think that Vincent and Bree, I think Vincent is a psychopath.
What? Whoa.
I think,
why?
not a psychopath, but I think that I was very weirded out by the fact that he was like, I feel like you're not respecting me. Like, he was like, oh, I bought like a champagne bottle and he wanted to open it and it spilled. And so he spilt it on himself. And she jokes and was like, such a Vincent move. And he like felt, and he got pissy. And was like, that's just disrespect. So her directness and jokingness is disrespect to him, which is a little bit weird to me. I feel like he's this bipolar, like off and on. He'd be scary to me.
I just think this is just them misunderstanding each other. I think that it seems like he has a lot of women in his life, based on previous episodes.
Yeah.
And they probably act like that with him anyway.
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't like it.
Well, it just seemed like
and now his wife is acting like that, and he doesn't like it, and so he's speaking his mind. That's how I took it. I didn't think it was. I honestly thought it was more, let's give them a fight, because I don't think that was even worth fighting about.
I know, it was such a dumb fight, and he was just like overly sensitive.
He does.
Seems like an overly sensitive guy.
But again, if you grew up around a bunch of women, and they all probably. That's probably not the first time he heard that.
Yeah.
The way he responded to it sounded like that wasn't the first time he said that.
There wasn't a lot that I wrote about them.
So I think that's just it. I think they're literally just going through growing pains of getting to know each other, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, it melted my heart when he told
Especially
Pastor
if that's
Cal,
the worst of it.
Yeah, it melted my heart when he told Pastor Cal, he was like, this is the person that I've been waiting for. Or something to that degree.
Always have nice words.
Really nice words. And I feel like I'm starting to see her, she's very touchy-feely with him, but she's not good with expressing words. Because Pastor Cal was like, so how do you feel, Brie? After he basically just said all this, she was just, I mean, it's really great. Like, I feel the same way.
That would be me. That would be me.
I can be myself around him. I'm like, that's all you had to say?
That would be me.
Like, this is a person I was meant to be with, and all you got to say is, yeah.
Everyone's not good with words.
But she does show like physical touch.
Yeah.
But her words suck. And I'm glad that it doesn't seem like he needs that.
Yeah. That's important. At least he doesn't need it, because that could be a problem.
Yeah. All right, what about Claire? The funny thing is, I took notes. I didn't even write anything about Claire and Ryan. They're just so boring.
Aww.
I mean, Ryan he's never said the word I love you. He's not had sex with her. Claire really wants to have sex. She's sexually frustrated.
Yeah. What do you think they're doing?
I don't know. She was like, we're doing other stuff, Pastor Cal. I'm just like, why don't you just do it?
Like
you're married.
You think they're doing oral? Like,
I have no idea. Ryan just seems super lame.
What do we think they're doing?
Yeah, comment on that. I don't know. I'm thinking everything but like, what? You're married. What are you waiting for? What do you? Yeah. Because his excuse was.
I thought it was, when she was talking about it on the honeymoon when they mentioned it.
Oh, I thought they got it in.
I thought so too. So that was.
And what is he?
I thought he just didn't want to talk about it.
He was like, I just want to build something deeper, which is great, but like, I don't understand how. I've never understood like the separation between I'm cool with oral sex, but then I'm not cool with sex. Like that to me is a little bit more intimate. Right. But there are a lot of people who are like, I will do oral sex, but I don't want to have sex. And I'm just like, that to me just is the opposite.
I'm hoping that maybe this still goes with them not wanting, or Ryan not wanting to say they're having sex. And hopefully they are having sex.
No, she seemed very, like, in the next episode, she seems like they have not had sex. She said she's very sexually frustrated.
Oh, I did.
And when Pastor Cal, like, asked about like had they been like intimate, and she was just like, this to him. Like, I'm gonna let Ryan take it, or like, why?
Well, but again, I thought that was because he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like she sounds seeing down the honeymoon, like he just didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
So I just was hoping it was like, well, let him take the lead because I want to say we did X, Y, Z.
Well, on the preview, she
But
also they had their friends over, and she was like, I've never seen my husband's chest. So I don't know what they're doing. But also comment. I'm interested to hear like people's
jerking him off.
I have no idea, but I'm interested to hear people's thoughts on like, do you think that like, do you distinguish or separate oral from like, is it regular sex? Do we call it regular sex? I don't know what you call it.
Intercourse.
Intercourse. Do you think there's a distinction? Like, are you cool with like, do you understand why you would separate it versus?
Or what are they doing? What else are they doing?
She never saw his chest. Maybe he just keeps his shirt on for whatever they do.
So weird.
I don't know. So they're boring. I didn't even write notes. That's how boring they are to me. Maybe they'll stick. Maybe they'll work. I don't know, and I don't care.
I don't even know what my note means now that I'm looking at it.
Because they
Clara's folding technique.
What was she folding? Oh, her clothes, like her shirts. You could see.
Oh,
I thought it was actually really cool.
So that's why I mentioned it. I said I need to fix my drawers.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Because you can see. He was like, oh, so when you open it up,
she has them folded on the side, so it's like.
But they're up, like versus like most people, like
see
up,
all
up,
of
up.
them
You can't. So yeah, most people, it's like all you can see is the top. And this time,
that's what it was. I'm glad you remember because I completely forgot, and I need to change my drawers because I could probably fit more shirts.
All those clothes in there? You think you're?
I could probably fit more. You don't think?
Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool.
Anyway, but
that was them.
Thanks, Clara, for the tip.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Let's see. We talked Vince and Brianna. Mm-hmm. Let's talk Eric and Virginia first.
Okay.
So every episode, I just fall for Eric more. Like he's always smiling, and that just makes me. He has a nice smile, and it just makes me happy. I think Eric, after watching this episode, is just too mature for her. I think Eric understands.
If he had said one more time, I've done this before.
Yeah.
I would have.
It kind of made her feel like, it would make me feel like I'm a child and I've never. Yeah. But she is also like, he is bringing up valid points of like, I know what it's like to like.
But say it once.
Yeah, but she doesn't listen. And I think that's why he keeps reinforcing.
How does he know? It's been a week.
Yeah. But she doesn't act
it's
like.
It's been a week.
He has valid points. I just wrote, he's too mature for her. I agree with him where I think she assumes, okay, I'm married, but my life isn't going to change. And
oh my God,
that is something that I don't know. I feel like
that part is true. I think she does need to fix that.
Yeah,
I did like Pastor Cal with them.
Yeah, like she was like, I mean, I have like
the boyfriends.
Yes, I literally wrote.
My friend's house.
Pastor Cal said I would have an issue with that because she's basically like, I mean, I have these two guy friends. They're basically gay, and he goes, Pastor Cal goes, are they gay though? She goes, no, but I mean, they're like two guys that live really close to each other, and I crashed on their couch, and he was like, that's not appropriate. It's not. You're married. And what did you think about Eric?
You know, it reminded me of like you and a friend of ours.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not married, but
I mentioned. I said I think that's inappropriate, or you just shouldn't mention it because.
But you can't not mention it. You're staying the night when you're married.
But if you, well, yes, I was like, because if you're just like, is your boyfriend or girlfriend, like they're not gonna know if you got home or not. Just be like, all right, good night. But I forget where I was going with this.
Put that in a jar.
Yeah, is that allowed? I forgot where I was going with. Oh, did you have an issue with him like asking her like, let me know when you get there?
I thought that was dumb that she had a problem with that.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Like, you drink.
Yeah.
You literally are going out drinking on a regular basis. He wants to make sure you got there safely.
And he's very good with his words. He was like, that's because I care about you. I want to make sure that you're safe. And she's like, and I've said this before. I was like, well, I don't want to be treated like a child. Like, I'm reporting to my parents. But I was like, girl, but that's your husband. Like, just let him know.
Even when I had a roommate, and I can't even blame it on age, because even when I had a roommate at 26, I would tell my roommate, let me know. Actually,
we all do this now.
Who you're going with. Well, you know, back then we weren't like,
we never like
big on like texting and calling. So it was like,
call plan started at 9 p.m.
My roommate, I used to ask her for the information for the person that you're going out with, because if you come up missing, I want to be able to say she's with this person right here.
Yeah.
And I used to do the same, actually.
And it's weird because I'm like, maybe Virginia, but even in my 20s, I feel like when I leave your house tonight, I text you when I get home, like, hey, I got home. Like, because you don't know what's going to happen between here and my house.
Right.
And everybody that I've talked to, like, knows, oh, Tamara was going to Michelle's house to tape. So
it's a grown-up thing to do, and obviously she's not.
Yeah, she just feels like he's controlling. I did think when he said you should ask me for permission, and then he backpedaled, but like the way he said it still was like, you should ask me permission. It was like kind of like going out or so. I forget what it was.
Oh, if it's okay if she goes out. Oh, yeah.
And I don't really know if I should have to. I got her point where like, I don't think I need to ask for your permission. She just wants to tell him I'm going out. If they don't have plans.
Yeah, I think the problem with her though is that she wants to do it more often than not.
Yeah.
And in that instance, yes, she should ask. I don't think, yes, you should have to ask your partner if it's okay if I go somewhere when you don't have children to watch or dogs and animals to watch. Like,
well, she does have like a dog and a cat, and I was like, and poor thing has allergies.
Well, then yeah, she does need to confirm that.
Because who the fuck is watching this dog, and who's taking this dog out for a walk?
In that instance, she should be asking.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not Team Virginia on this one, but
I'm still. What did you think of Eric's apartment?
It was.
I was like, this is not what I expected.
It was a lot of brown, big leather furniture. Like, it was just, and there were no throw pillows. It was just brown. It was very bland. There was nothing on the walls, which I'm used to with guys. I feel like guys just miss the mark.
But he decided to put in this extra little fireplace.
Oh, I love the fireplace thing. That was cool. Like, and it changes color. I don't know.
He doesn't give off that personality at all.
Yeah, yeah. Like, who are you trying to set the mood with?
Right.
I liked it. And she was just like, I don't think this is going to work for us long term.
Right. I'm surprised he didn't have pictures. I didn't notice until she said it.
Nothing. It was like bare walls. Like, do you live here? Yeah. Like, I think it's weird when you go to somebody's house and they have nothing on the walls. You don't, like, it's like, you don't, like, it's not homey. And I feel like her house is very homey. I like homey houses.
Yeah.
So if you don't have pictures up on your wall and shit, get them up. Like, I want to see like family and friends or something. Like, I want to know that this is your house, and you should not be able to easily Airbnb your house. Like, he could easily Airbnb that house
for sure,
and not have to like put pictures in a drawer or anything like that. So yeah. All right, Eric, that's them. We have to save the worst for last because I have so much to talk. Jacob and Haley. So. Why was she so pissed off at him? I was confused. I rewound it a couple of times. I'm like,
I didn't get it.
You lied to him. And you're like, and he was like, well, I feel like you're now, he did jump to conclusions and went to like, oh, I think you're cheating on me. You have somebody back home. Like, but she was just like, I can't believe he would say something like that to me.
He was extra with that, but her response was very extra.
Super extra. I can't talk to you. I moved my seat. Like, he was just like, why'd you lie?
Yeah. I mean, I can see what she means about that possibly not being a lie, the way she played it out.
Totally.
Like,
but say that. Say that. Like,
well, it sounded like she did say that, but he didn't take it that way.
Yeah.
Because of what had been going on and her saying that she needed her space. Yeah. So technically, she said that, and then it came across. I mean, she has to understand his point of view, and that's the problem. I don't think she was seeing his side of it.
Also, I think if I was in her place,
which Pastor Cal did mention to her, so maybe
and I think if I was in her place and like it was a girls' night, and then a couple of the husbands came down, I probably would have texted him and said like, "Hey, you should come down." That meant she didn't text him because she didn't want him to come down. And at that point, I'm like, if he comes down in a group setting, that's way easier to hang out because you got like people to vibe off of versus like one-on-one.
She should have.
Like, check mark. That was my quality time for today.
She hasn't been like in relationships in a while.
Do you think that's why, or she just doesn't like him?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
She keeps blaming it on.
At one point I thought it had to do with like sex, but after seeing the Before show and this episode, she was on that one. It seems like she's very turned off by his personality, like the whole 80s thing.
I mean, it's intense, but like he's quirky, like.
Yeah, so it sounds like she just was turned, like, him talking. Just turning her off. And
I loved he was like, yeah, my members only jacket. And she's like, what's that? And
right.
I was like, oh, girl.
Right. The age difference.
But the funny thing is he's my age. And I'm just like, why are you so obsessed with the 80s? Because like we don't even remember the 80s. I don't remember the 80s. You don't like, we remember the 90s. That was our formative years in life. So he's a little interesting. I don't know about them. I'm hopeful. I'm hoping it's going to be like a Jamie.
I'm glad they made up after that bad fight.
Yeah. Do you think they didn't show if they were like sleeping in the same bed or not? But
after that, no, it didn't say.
Yeah.
They didn't stay that night.
I think she needs to work on being honest with him. And I think that he wants it
open.
to work. Yeah.
Because it seems like she closed the door. Like she just closed off with whatever that whole argument was.
Yeah.
And
I think he really wants this to work, so I think she just needs to say, here's how we're gonna play this, and I think he'll go along for the ride. I hope so. I like Jake.
Yeah.
And he's weird.
I don't
see
either
quirky,
of them
quirky.
finding anyone outside of them.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
They just seem.
So I don't know. Haley's probably not watching, but I hope she gets it together.
I hope so too.
And tries to work on it.
Her eyes always look weird to me. Are they a different color?
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
We both just put out I don't even want to talk. Like
with Chris and Paige, I started.
This might be our last time talking. Oh no, next week we're gonna have. Maybe that'll be just us all we talk about.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, so Chris and Paige. Okay, I wrote.
OMG was my beginning note.
I just put Chicago, not Atlanta. Like that was weird. How are you gonna leave the honeymoon and go to Chicago, which is where the baby mama lives, right? Is that why he went to Chicago, or does he have family there?
I think the baby mama is in Atlanta.
Okay, so he went to Chicago, which I was like, that's weird.
But his family is from Chicago.
Okay, so that was weird.
And his pastor.
Is this the one with the bad?
No, that one's in Atlanta.
Okay,
the cute one.
I mean, he's cute, but like his hairline, I feel like he. I think he drew that on.
He can't be perfect.
I mean, anyways, so I just wrote that Chris is super dishonest. The back and forth, like he says he's not attracted to her, but then he's like, I want to work it out. Then
and they were still having sex every night.
I literally wrote, why is she and Pastor Cal asked that question.
And not protected?
Yeah. Like
who decides to have sex with someone after they told you that they weren't attracted to you?
She felt like it was her obligation as a wife. What's wrong with Paige? Like, we need to now, like, kind of do a psychological, like, analysis on her of, like, what is driving her? Because nobody's that, like, I gotta please my husband. He's not acting like your husband.
And then I don't like how when they were talking on the phone, when she was talking on the phone with the producer.
Oh, she was all on it, like super
when
angry.
He came there,
it's like he puts her in a trance.
Yeah.
I was like texting my sister.
Yeah. That's when I was disappointed in Pastor Cal.
Yeah.
Actually, when I said at the
what do you
beginning,
mean? I thought
no. I don't think
he should have gone on. He should have gone in on Chris a little bit more.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Like all the disappointment that he showed when he was having a conversation with Paige, he did not give that to Chris when he was there.
Yeah. Chris also was just like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I'm just like, stop being like, don't try to act like you're this respectful guy.
He didn't say all that he should have said. Like, come on, come on, Pastor.
I agree. And he kept saying like, well, Paige is like this ride or die girl. Like, why don't you want to be with her? And I was like, I don't know. And then like the whole once Pastor Cal left, he whispered in her ear, I'm afraid of falling in love with you. And I'm just like, how do you say that 5 minutes before or after you said, I'm gonna leave you, get a divorce because this makes sense for us because I'm gonna work it out with my baby mama. And then, but then she felt like.
But even then, he never clearly said that he was gonna work it out with baby mama because he went back and forth with Pastor Cal about he thinks he's gonna work it out, and he was like, well, I don't know. We're not sure. Like
Chris,
I think this is best for her and I to split. Like
he is probably like
he's playing her and she's falling right into it, and I don't get it. After a week,
I don't get it. Yeah, it's as if like they've been dating for a while, and that's why I said like last week I said, you know, the whole like getting over like the baby. I could see if like you were in it for a while or something, like, you know, but I'm like, a week in, you this in love? Like, you can't walk away. Like, it's that bad. Like, you're not an attractive girl. Like, is Atlanta that hard?
I don't understand.
Yeah. And then
I don't
after he said, like, the whole falling in love, it was like she went from, like, being super irritated
and did she
angry
walk
with
him
him.
to the car?
I was super weird because I was like, what luggage was he moving?
Right, because he never moved in.
That's why I was confused with that.
And then she went back upstairs? Like,
I was really confused. I didn't know if that was, like, bad editing. I was confused. I was going to bring that up today. Because he had 2, like, silver suitcases.
And she had nothing.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe he, like, was helping her move more stuff in while he went home. Because he definitely left.
He left, and it seemed like he left with the luggage.
Yeah, but, yeah, I don't know. But he was going uphill and his car was downhill.
And then the whole, her looking back, like...
Yeah, she was like, he just keeps confusing me. Why can't this just be, like, a clean break? And I'm like, it is. It is. Like, he basically said, like, what you're not going to do is tell me 2 days ago that your wife comes first, baby mama and baby comes second. I do want to work it out with you. And then 2 days later, you're like, I'm still in love with her. I want to work it out with her. We're going to get a divorce.
I really don't understand.
I just have too much, I don't even, it's not self-esteem. It's not the right word.
Respect
too much for
yourself?
Yeah, respect, ego. Like, yo, you really playing me on TV. If anything, she should have been thinking, people are going to see this. I can't look like this much of a fool.
I mean, I just don't. I mean, even taking the TV out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take the TV out. What could he have possibly done after telling her, I'm not attracted to you, for her to have sex with him that night?
So, okay.
Like, what?
So I thought it was interesting. Paige is young. Paige is like, what, 27? I thought it was super interesting because she said, I've been here as far as like dating guys with children. I thought that was, I think in your 30s, that to me makes way more sense dating somebody with kids than in your like early to mid 20s.
I think you also have to consider where we live based on where other people live, right? Like, I would say in other cities, people have babies in 20s, not.
But I mean, is it majority? Because I feel like in my 20s, it was pretty easy to, if I'm dating someone around my
we're
age.
In the DC area, it's different. We're also around a bunch of colleges. Like, a lot of people are focused on college and work here.
Yeah.
Like,
but I thought Atlanta was kind of aggressive. I mean, progressive in that sense. Like, where they've got young professionals and.
I don't know.
I thought it was interesting. So I'm just like, maybe I don't know if Paige just is not a good judge of character.
I don't get the young professionals vibe from Atlanta. Okay. Actually, I mean, I get the young party type from Atlanta, but not young professionals. I mean, a lot of people seem like they're into other things, like side hustles and starting.
So not like the whole like traditional 9 to 5.
Right. Exactly. Entrepreneurship seems like the thing to do in Atlanta to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be wrong, but that's what it comes across as.
People that are watching from Atlanta, please comment and let us know if we're wrong or
not. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm totally confused.
I'm confused by them.
I don't understand.
I'm over her. I told you
going off on the phone, and then when you see him, you don't have that same energy.
It's like he puts on a trance.
Right. I don't understand Pastor Cal not going in on him. Like that, Chris shouldn't even said anything. When Chris walked in and sat down, Pastor Cal should have went in.
He kept smiling. Like, I'm like, dude, do you not know what you've done?
Like, well, he seemed more like one of those like nervous smile, like I'm just gonna be awkward smiling. Yeah. I think he obviously knows what happened. Yeah. And he also doesn't feel like he's done anything wrong. He feels like
that is so true.
Reacting as someone should that just got married and just found out that he got his ex pregnant that he was just with a few months ago.
Yeah, like they didn't push him on. You know that like 6 weeks ago you were in this process.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Pastor should have pushed on that.
There are so many things that Pastor Cal should have said to him. Yeah. That he didn't. Like I don't get it. Like I mean, I get being in disbelief.
I think maybe that's what he was in disbelief. I also don't think he was prepared that Chris was even going to come. So, I don't know.
I'm going to tell you now. I don't know Chris. But if Chris walked in my house right now and sat down with us, I would have this same energy that I have right now with him. Like, what?
He doesn't put you in a trance like he puts Paige in a trance.
But he doesn't put Pastor Cal in a trance. So why was Pastor Cal so nice
Maybe
too?
he puts everybody in a trance.
He wouldn't put me in a trance. I'm going to tell you what.
Okay,
What?
so let's talk about next week. And then we have to wrap this up and go into our random topic.
Next week, I only saw the clip about the baby mama being there.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Them all having a conversation, Paige, Chris, and the baby mama.
What is the point of that?
I don't understand. Yeah, we just need to only talk about
If you were Paige, would you have even done the sit down?
Well, so okay, you need to also keep in mind, I would have never been here.
You would have left, okay.
Because the first night after the wedding,
that's true.
When you told me after having sex with me that you weren't attracted to me, I would have been out then.
You wouldn't even have learned about.
I wouldn't even known about the baby.
Yeah.
I'd have found out about that baby after the fact. So why would I need to meet the baby mama? Like,
okay, but say you were a sucker like Paige. Would you have sat down with them?
If I had already went this far, why not? Why not? Why not? If I didn't continue to have sex with this man unprotected,
and she was like, I was praying, I got my period. I'm like, really, bitch?
So that means he was shooting up the club.
Yes.
So you got this man that you know
does not like you
and does not like you, just shooting up your club for a week.
But Michelle, that was her wifely duty. She felt like she had to.
Shooting up the club is not wifely. It's not wifely duty. You don't have to do
Pastor
that.
Cal was like, ooh, like he put his glasses on top of his head.
Because he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it.
I know.
Like,
I don't think in Married at First Sight history
so
this is
saying,
ever.
Like I said, if I went that far, why not? We're this far in. Who
Let's talk
cares?
about it.
Because now at this point I'm vested, and I want to know. I need to know how the story plays out because now I'm in the reality show. Like, I need to see how this plays out. Okay. Let me know. I don't want to find out about it months from now.
Yeah.
I want to know now. Clue me in on what's going on, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
So I think we probably
You'd want to sit, right? You wouldn't want to sit?
I agree with you. I think like if I'm already in it, but I'm just like, what are you hoping to get out of it? That's what I'm like. What are your objectives? When I go into meetings at work,
before everybody else get it.
I guess it's like when I go into work, I'm thinking, okay, or in a meeting, I'm like, what are the objectives of this meeting? What am I trying to get out of it? And I don't know what she thinks she's getting out of it.
Sometimes at work, I like to be on meetings that I just need to know the information before somebody tells me next week.
Okay.
And that's what this would be.
Gotcha.
I just want to know before everybody else knows.
Man. All right. Well, I mean, I think next week is going to be super juicy, and I feel like after that, we're probably not going to be able to talk about Paige and Chris because I'm hoping that she's going to say,
"Girl,
let's end this."
I really hope so.
I'm hoping we only have to talk about 4 couples after next week. So next week we will talk about them because I think it's going to be a spicy episode. But after that, I'm hoping that Paige it's a light bulb moment. She gets out of this trance. She gets out of the Bugs Bunny eyeballs and just moves on. I hope.
He probably came back to the apartment and fucked
after filming. Yeah. Because, he's afraid of falling in love with her. God, who falls for... Man, she's... All right, so...
Laying it on thick.
That was TV Chat. I hope you enjoyed it. And we're as passionate about all the things that we talked about as we were.